Hello, everybody. It is Ray again. I will be finishing the Sandy Hook files, I guess, tonight. There we finished off with the conclusion and like the FBI's synopsis of what happened, and we will be picking up where we left off on part 2 of the Sandy Hook FBI Vault files. Hi, Diana. How are you? We have Department of Public Safety reports that we can go into. We have the police dashcam videos from the day of. I linked both the websites. One is the Connecticut State Police with all their files for Sandy Hook, and then I also linked FBI Vault for Sandy Hook in the description if you guys want to check everything out yourselves. There's indoor scene processing videos, vehicle processing videos, and other stuff that I downloaded today, but a lot of it is redacted and there's not a whole lot to any of the videos, honestly. Um, but yeah, we can just pick up where we left off and get right into it.
Conclusion. With the issuance of this report, the investigation is closed. If additional reliable information related to the existence of others' involvement in the case comes to the attention of the investigators, it is subject to being reopened. I do not anticipate that occurring. As of now, there will be no state prosecution of anyone as an accessory or co-conspirator. Many people have asked why the shooter did what he did on December 14th, 2012. Or, in the vernacular of the criminal justice system, did he have a motive to do what he did? This investigation, with the substantial information available, does not establish a conclusive motive. What we do know is that the shooter had significant mental health issues that, while not affecting the criminality of the shooter's mental state for the crimes or his criminal responsibility for Thean, did affect his ability to live a normal life and to interact with others, even those to whom he should have been close. Whether this contributed in any way is unknown. The shooter did not recognize or help himself deal with those issues. He had a familiarity with and access to firearms and ammunition and an obsession with mass murders, in particular the Columbine shootings. There is no clear indication why Sandy Hook Elementary School was selected, other than perhaps its close proximity to the shooter's home. What is clear is that on the morning of December 14th, 2012, the shooter intentionally committed horrendous crimes, murdering 20 children and 6 adults in a matter of moments, with the ability and intention of killing even more. He committed these heinous acts after killing his own mother. The evidence indicates the shooter planned his actions, including the taking of his own life. It is equally clear that law enforcement arrived at Sandy Hook Elementary School within minutes of the first shots being fired. They went into the school to save those inside with the knowledge that someone might be waiting to take their lives. It is also clear that the staff of Sandy Hook Elementary School acted heroically in trying to protect the children. The combination saved many children's lives.
This is the conclusion for the FBI's report within the second set of files. This is the acknowledgments. We went through all of this in the last episode, but I just wanted to do a refresher. I'm not entirely sure if the rest of the stuff in this document set is going to be duplicates or anything worth checking into, so I might put up one of the dash cam videos or something while I'm looking through them again. But this is the acknowledgments, and then we will look through the rest of the files to see if there's anything left in this one. If not, we will go to part 3.
Over the course of the last 11 months, many agencies, governmental and private, have come together to assist the victims' families, victims, first responders, others affected by the crimes, the Connecticut State Police, and the state's Attorney's Office for the Judicial District of Danbury. I wish to thank the below agencies, listed alphabetically, for their investigative work, cooperation, and assistance in this investigation. Though I have tried to list all of the agencies that provided assistance to the investigation, I suspect some will be inadvertently left out. For this, I apologize. Connecticut State Police, and in particular Western District Major Crime Squad, Connecticut Intelligence Center, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection Forensic Science Laboratory, Faculty of Finding Words, Connecticut, a child-first state, Family and Children's Aid of Danbury, Federal Bureau of Investigation, including Victim Services and Behavior Analysis Units, Gunderson Health System's National Child Protection Training Center, Hoboken, New Jersey, Police Department, Homeland Security, Municipal Police Departments in Connecticut, Newtown Police Department, Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, Office of the Chief State's Attorney 76, State of Connecticut Judicial Branch, United States Attorney's Office for the District of Connecticut, United States Drug Enforcement Agency, United States Marshals Service. I would also like to thank the members of the Danbury State's Attorney's Office, in particular, Supervisory Assistant State's Attorney Warren Murray and Inspectors Donald Brown and John Mahoney for their assistance and support. 72, the Western District.
And that is it for that. We will scroll for a minute if there isn't anything, or I don't want you guys to have to sit through me scrolling for everything or through everything. Nancy had spoke about her son, Adam Lanza. She had told that although he had been diagnosed with Asperger's and personality disorder, something had changed with him 3 months ago. Nancy had stated that Adam had not left his bedroom in 3 months and would communicate with her by email. Nancy had stated that he had become despondent.
Nancy had stated that he had become despondent and wanted to move to Seattle, Washington, where it was dark and gloomy. Nancy advised that they were going to put their Newtown house on the market in spring of 2013 and move to Seattle to make Adam happy. Stated that Nancy had boyfriends but spent her life caring for Adam and would not give up on him. Nancy had told that she had asked Adam if he would miss her if something happened to her, and Adam answered no, not really. Nancy seemed upset and concerned but thought his lack of emotion was part of his Asperger's. BB stated that she knew that Nancy had one gun she would keep by her bed for protection. Stated that Nancy had gone to London last year and gone hawk hunting. Never met Adam, and this summer when she visited Nancy, she was not allowed in the house because it would upset and disrupt Adam. Stated that she believed that Nancy did not work, maybe volunteered at the elementary school, but was not a teacher. Stated that Nancy never told her if stated that she had been assaulted by Adam or was scared of him. Nancy never said if he was suicidal or had homicidal thoughts. Stated that Adam was anti-social, but had gone out with some friends in the past and would do DDR at a house or possible arcade or entertainment center in the Newtown area. B. 6 billions. Received on December 18, 2012. On December 18, 2012, SA received a complaint from the Little Rock Division reporting that B127 massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. In the comment reportedly opined, the death count was not high enough. White male, date of birth, account number, address, social security, BB-2.
Crazy work. That's a Facebook profile that was expressing support for the massacre at Sandy Hook. In summary, Blank identified himself as an internet troller, defined the term troller as a person who, for entertainment value, enjoys finding internet thread comments regarding sensitive issues and post highly inflammatory and controversial opinions with the premeditated intent of agitating persons participating in the dialogue. Following initial denials, acknowledged posting a comment on his Facebook page regarding the Sandy Hook massacre and rendering his opinion that the death count was not high enough. Later during the interview, recanted his admission and stated that he did not have specific memory of posting the comment. Did admit having specific recollection of being involved in an internet conversation thread regarding the massacre and mentally formulating the most heinous comment he could provide. Wow. Blank described himself as an immature person who often uses poor judgment. Described the comment under inquiry as an
December 20th. Judgment. Judgment described the comments to any form of violence. Judgment described the comments to any form of violence, with the exception of violent act. past or present ideation of committing a violent act against a specific person of a societal view. Denounced the December 14th, 2012 massacre. It also denied any Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Acknowledged that he is the owner of a non-operational Tech-9 handgun, which he keeps to use as a ruse in the event an intruder ever enters his home and threatens the safety of his family. Non-operational Tech-9 is the only weapon he owns, stated the BB. Following their interview of TFO and TFO at her residence, B-2, 5 billions to 5 billions. B-2 agreed to the interview and was made aware of the nature of the interview. In summary stated, corroborated the information provided by B6 billions minus 26. Stated validated that, described as nonviolent on the internet. Stated validated that is a troller, enjoys attempting to present himself routinely as calloused, even in his personal relationships. However, apologizes for inappropriate opinions and comments. Unclassified. Unclassified.
Very interesting, very interesting. An anonymous individual reported that blank date of birth told Adam Lanza to shoot up the school.
Synopsis, Internet Activity Report Number. The information contained herein was received on the FBI's internet website as possibly being related to terrorist or other criminal activity. The submitted text has been incorporated into this communication. B-2 B.
Crazy.
Tug. Kingston Police Department was interviewed at KPD, Kingston, New Hampshire. After being advised of the identity of the interviewing agents and the nature of the interview, Chief Briggs provided the following information. File. By this.
Nancy Lanza, victim of December 14th, 2012 mass shooting incident in Newtown, Connecticut. Adam Lanza, Nancy Lanza's son. Chief Briggs could not recall if Nancy Lanza's son, Adam Lanza, ever attended this high school or school in general. I don't know if it's a high school. When Nancy Lanza married, built a home on the family homestead property, and resided at what became for several years until they moved to Connecticut about 12 years ago. Chief Briggs provided no further information. At the time, an essay advised that they were working on the case involving a mass murder of school children and teachers in Newtown, Connecticut. Acknowledged she was aware of the case. She listened carefully and sat relatively quietly, not asking any questions. Most fixated and disturbed internet associate she had ever encountered. Agreed to speak to agents concerning this issue at approximately 9:13. An essay met with two after being advised of the identities. This is the information she gave.
Approximately 2 to 2.5 years ago, when she observed one of his postings on the website ColumbineSuperMassacre@pg.com. Lanza's postings convinced that he was very knowledgeable of Columbine and other murder events. Aware that Lanza was working on a list, or spreadsheet, meticulously documenting the details of hundreds of spree killings and mass murders. After her first contact with Lanza, communicated with him regularly, perhaps once a month on average, until early December 2012. Or never communicated in any way other than emails and web postings. She never called Lanza by telephone or voice over internet. Similarly, she never engaged in instant messaging or other real-time communication with Lanza. B, 2 billions minus 2. Throughout her online relationship with Lanza, never had any idea who he was and did not know his first or last name. Lanza was a secretive guy. Was not sure where Lanza lived, but guessed it was in the New York area because he had referenced some murders that happened there. Lanza spoke very little about his family and personal life, like the Harry Potter stories, when he Potter idea that at the age of 11, families. Also recalled Lanza posting that he was a kid. Lanza, like the Harry, the kids were taken away from there. BB-2. Although did not know Lanza's true identity, over the years she became more familiar with his personality and thinking, or found Lanza to have a distinct personality. She described Lanza as the weirdest person online. He was singularly focused and obsessed with mass murders and spree killings. Lanza devoted almost all of his internet activity to researching and discussing mass murders and spree killings. From those communications came to know Lanza as extremely intelligent and serious. Also came to know Lanza as depressed and cynical regarding his view of life and people. Lanza had a very negative worldview. Lanza's postings and messages made it clear that he was disturbed and depressed, described it as a functional depression. As far as knew, Lanza had no effective coping mechanism to deal with his depression, but he was able to function. He seemed to wallow in it and ride out the low periods by hiding in his room and sleeping for 12 hours or more at a time. Lanza seemed to have no friends or people he could turn to for support or assistance, and did not appear to have any enjoyment of life. Lanza portrayed himself as someone who lived an isolated life in which he was always in discomfort. Lanza believed he had issues with his sensory. Unclassified. Unclassified page B-2, December 23, 2000 texture. He could not find clothing that fit him comfortably. Lanza also wrote that light itself bothered him, writing that he hated natural light because it hurts his eyes. For that reason, he avoided daylight and stayed as much as he could in his house. Lanza did not consider death to be a negative. He saw it as an escape from his joyless existence. Lanza showed some interest in music, but only if it related in some way to spree killing or mass murder. Although Lanza occasionally wrote about committing suicide, believed he was somehow managing his depression. Lanza made some reference to sexuality in his postings and writings. Lanza wrote that he believed he might be asexual. He wrote that he was sexually attracted to maybe only one or two people in his entire life, and it was really not a factor for him. Lanza wrote at least one lengthy email to expressing his views on pedophilia. Lanza possessed a hatred of pedophiles. He viewed pedophiles as a threat that would influence a child. While he acknowledged it could be unhealthy, Lanza described adult-child sexual relationships as possibly beneficial to both parties. Lanza felt pity for children. Lanza did not express any sexual interest of his own in children. In his writings, Lanza expressed a lot about his view of the world. For the most part, Lanza was angry and resentful about society's structure. Lanza thought of those who were successful in society as selfish, cruel, and controlling. He believed that those in positions of authority were inappropriately controlling children and young adults. He believed that teachers and parents, too, were improperly controlling, smothering, and intentionally molding their students and children. Lanza thought of teachers as an extension of parents' control over children. Regarding children, stated that Lanza felt sorry for them. Lanza also felt that people were needlessly cruel to animals. For that reason, he said he was a vegan. Lanza believed that spree killings and mass murders were merely a symptom caused by a broken society. Lanza talked about school killings and those who committed them with respect and understanding. To discuss these issues, Lanza used various forums. He used the email addresses genericregistryemail@gmail.com and cryinghamster@yahoo.com. Lanza used the screen name Smiggles on shockedbeyondbelief.com, which was preceded by Columbine Super Massacre APG.com. Lanza communicated regularly until the summer of 2012, when Lanza's posting stopped. Lanza later wrote that he had committed virtual suicide. He wrote that he had destroyed the hard drive of his computer and lost all of his virtual identities. It took Lanza some time to get himself back online after the virtual suicide. Sandy Hook 700. At one time, Lanza was posting on tumblr.com. Lanza was posting under the names Gay Fortimk and Queer Forkimbeer. In those postings, read about some nightmares that Lanza said he had. In one, Lanza wrote that in one of his nightmares he was at a school and someone in his class shoved Lanza. In the dream, Lanza's teacher punished Lanza, not the person who shoved him. Lanza stormed out of the classroom, screaming at the teacher. In a second dream, Lanza was in a school when he saw some kids bullying another kid. The bullies were dumping out the backpack of the victim kid. The victim then took a gun out and started shooting the bullies. In the dream, Lanza was trying to help the shooter by telling him to watch out for people behind him who would try to stop him. In a third dream, Lanza said he was in mall when a mall shooting started. Lanza was in a shoe store and found himself with a shooter. Lanza was talking to the shooter and trying to convince the shooter to commit suicide before the police were able to arrest him. Lanza also posted some audio of himself calling into an internet radio show hosted by John Zerzan. Lanza identified himself as Greg and called in about a story on the show about a chimpanzee or monkey had been raised like a child. One day, the monkey was acting odd, so someone took him on a car ride, which usually calmed the monkey down. On this day, the monkey did not calm down and attacked a person, tearing the person's face off. Lanza was arguing that people were interpreting the monkey's reaction wrong on the radio show. In fact, the monkey was probably under great pressure and did not have any ability to express it. Having no way to relieve the pressure through expression, the monkey acted out in the only way it could and injured the person. It's sure that the Tumblr dream postings and the audio posting were done by Lanza. She recognized the way he spoke and also messaged Lanza on Tumblr. At some time, Lanza confirmed that he had made the dream postings and the audio posting. Lanza deleted the Tumblr postings in or about November 2012. From all knew about Lanza, he was a very unhappy and disturbed person who was focused completely on spree killings and mass murders. Though Lanza was clearly obsessed with these ideas, never saw anything in Lanza's writings that could be seen as direct indications that he would act out himself and commit a mass murder. Of Thai lack of enthusiasm. Casually mentioned suicide, but never openly expressed a desire to commit suicide. Lanza never smoked, consumed alcohol, or used drugs. Lanza never threatened to harm anyone, and never wrote that he had guns or weapons in his home. His postings revealed he had extensive knowledge of the guns and ammunition that had been used in historical mass murders and spree killings, but never an indication that he possessed or used firearms himself. Looking back at what she knew about Lanza, committed mass murder in Newtown, is not shocked that he does not know why Lanza would have chosen that time of place to commit the murders. He never suggested in any way that he was about to kill anyone. When asked why he thought that Lanza would have taken the lives of so many young and innocent children, said she would guess that Lanza would have thought he was saving them or protecting them. Lanza believed he was taking them away from harmful influences, or those individuals who would control the children, because he believed that death was escape from the pressures of life. He could have thought he was helping the children that he killed. Lanza thought the children were brainwashed. Lanza would have thought differently about the teachers and adults who were killed. He would have considered them as controlling forces that don't genuinely care who needed to be killed. Even if Lanza saw a teacher trying to protect a child, he would have seen that act as an effort by the teacher to protect her property and not as an act of genuine love or devotion. Having learned that Lanza was responsible for the Newtown murders as more fucked up than I thought, described Lanza.
All of this is redacted. Okay, this isn't. Cool, cool, cool.
On December 14th, 2012, Adam Lanza killed 27 people, including his mother, Nancy Lanza, and 26 students and staff at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The Office for Victim Assistance activated the Victim Assistance Rapid Deployment Team to respond to the shooting following a request for assistance from the Newtown Police Department and the Connecticut State Police. The Office for Victims of Crime authorized the use of terrorism emergency victim assistance funds to assist the victims of this mass fatality event. TVAF assistance was requested and approved by OVA Program Director Terman, BB-7. NH-200 and 944 Saria Sathahook -200 and 19,000 budget matters. Case information, on December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza shot and killed his mother in their Newtown CT home. He then traveled to Sandy Hook Elementary School and killed 20 students and 6 staff members before taking his own life.
Nancy Lanza, a victim of December 14, 2012 mass murders committed in Newtown, Connecticut by gunman Adam Lanza, son of Nancy Lanza. Blank provided the following background information regarding Nancy Lanza. Advised that Nancy Lanza lives at 36 Yogananda Street, Sandy Hook, Connecticut, with her adult son, Adam Lanza. Stated that Nancy Lanza is not employed but does a lot of volunteer work at women's shelters and schools, including at Sandy Hook Elementary School, where the shootings occurred earlier today.
Nancy Lanza would donate clothing to the shelters, does not know the nature of the volunteer work that Nancy Lanza performed at Sandy Hook Elementary School, and does not think that Nancy Lanza has volunteered there in a long time. BB-6. 4NH261.
Nancy Lanza attended primary grades in the public schools of Kingston. Nancy Lanza married in 1981, built a house, resided there for many years. Nancy Lanza worked at John Hancock and Morgan Stanley in Boston, Massachusetts. Nancy Lanza had 2 children while residing in New Hampshire, and Adam Lanza, date of birth April 22nd, 1992, was 20 years old. In approximately 1998, Nancy and Blank sold their home in East Kingston and relocated to Connecticut when and Adam were approximately Blank and 6 years old, respectively. Just a couple years later, Nancy and Peter, I'm assuming that's who they're redacting, is Peter Lanza. They separated. Nancy Lanza had multiple I have no idea what that is. Post-separation, Nancy Lanza remained in their marital home. Adam Lanza lived with Nancy Lanza, who retained custody. Advised that Adam is not comfortable interacting with people and was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism. Is not sure if Adam Lanza attended DJ Bakey School in East Kingston before the family relocated to Connecticut. Adam Lanza was in special education classes when he attended school in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. When Adam reached puberty, Nancy took him out of school because she was nervous about him. Adam took some classes at the public high school and was a member of the high school tech club. Adam took some college courses, possibly at the University of Connecticut, and Nancy had to drop him off there because Adam didn't like to drive or didn't drive. Adam was always very mature and did not like school because he thought all of the other kids were immature. Nancy Lanza was extremely private about her son, Adam, and did not like to talk with family about Adam's issues. But Nancy Lanza knew since the time that Adam was little that he had issues. After Nancy moved to Connecticut, Adam experienced problems in both elementary and junior high school. Nancy Lanza only recently divulged Adam's Asperger's diagnosis a couple years ago. Nancy Lanza later became very upset when she learned Blank had shared the information, but Nancy Lanza felt if Blank knew of his diagnosis, they would think of him as weird. Nancy Lanza told that Adam was initially diagnosed with autism, but later with Asperger's. Blank believes that Nancy was finally able to talk about Adam over the last couple years because she had less concern about him now. Stated that Nancy Lanza had Adam in mental health counseling, but that Nancy never discussed having Adam on any type of medication. Adam is a vegan after previously being a vegetarian. Adam is extremely smart. A couple of summers ago, Adam had a job building computers for some guy. Adam spent a lot of time on his computer, but does not think he was a gamer. Adam had no real friends. Adam did not communicate via email or Facebook. Doubts that Adam had a Facebook profile because he was not a social person. Nancy Lanza uses email and her email address is the significance of the 1918 in her email address is related to the Red Sox 1918 World Championship, as Nancy was a avid Red Sox fan. Nancy Lanza traveled often. When Nancy traveled, she left Adam home alone, and he would be okay on his own. However, Nancy Lanza expressed concern about her son to in the last couple of years. And as recently as 2 weeks ago, Nancy told that she was worried about what would happen to Adam if anything ever happened to her. Nancy Lanza told that Adam
Continuation of FD 302 of
was doing better, but had gotten weirded out by Hurricane Sandy, sorry, which hit the northeast coast in late October 2020 or 2012, and that she had to stay in the house with Adam for several days without electricity because Adam refused to leave and go to a hotel, and she would not leave him alone.
stated that she asked Nancy Lanza if she had made any arrangements for Adam's care in the event that something happened to her, and Nancy Lanza told her that would take care of Adam. Nancy talked about a plan to move out of her big house in Sandy Hook, CT, and relocate with Adam to a house that had a mother-in-law suite for Adam. Nancy told that Adam was doing better and was looking into going to college, perhaps to study history because he was very interested in history. Nancy Lanza said that she was looking at the Seattle, Washington area because Adam would like the consistent weather there, or North Carolina does not know if Nancy talked with Adam about the idea of relocating. Nancy expressed her concern that Adam can never live on his own, and that's why she was considering buying a house with an in-law suite. To knowledge, Adam had a good relationship with his mother, Nancy. Nancy was extremely protective of Adam. Nancy never expressed any concerns about Adam being violent in any way. Nancy was not afraid of Adam, but was afraid for him. B minus 5'6" when Nancy B minus 5'6", and separated and were later divorcing. Adam Lanza's psychologist warned Nancy Lanza, because he would not be able to handle it. That Nancy Lanza told that Adam had begun driving lately. Adam had previously not wanted to get a driver's license. Nancy also told Adam has been taking private classes in Mandarin Chinese with a professor, as well as saxophone lessons over the last couple of years. Warsaw Nancy Lanza. Nancy was getting ready to travel to London, England for Christmas. Nancy spoke of needing to buy new clothes and get her hair done, stated that Nancy's Christmas travel plans could not have been the issue that made Adam go on a shooting rampage today, because Nancy travels all of the time and always leaves Adam home. Nancy has a lot of friends and is a very social person. Nancy Lanza spends a lot of time at a restaurant next to a Lowell Big Y store. B minus 5'6" billions minus 5'6".
About 4 or 5 years ago, Nancy turned down a marriage proposal from a man she was dating because she had to move and she would not leave Adam. When she was dating this man, Nancy traveled and left Adam home alone, and Adam was okay on his own. Adam is able to cook his own food and care for himself when Nancy is away traveling. Never known Adam to have a girlfriend or any friends at all. Thinks that the concerns Nancy Lanza shared with her about Adam Lanza over the last 2 years were probably just the tip of the iceberg. Advised that Nancy Lanza often took Adam target shooting at a local range in Connecticut. Nancy thought it was good for them to learn the responsibility of guns. Nancy Lanza owned several guns and had licenses for them. Could not explain why Nancy Lanza owned guns and stated that she did not think it was for reasons of self-defense. Advised that he knew Nancy Lanza to own a .45 caliber Governor handgun and a Ruger Mini 14, a .23 caliber gun. Nancy Lanza had sold a gun recently. At the conclusion of the interview, SA was notified by SSRA that per FBI New Haven command post, Nancy Lanza had officially been identified as a deceased victim of today's mass shooting and was shot in her home. SA
Recalled that it was Adam Lanza attended the
advised that Adam Lanza attended the Sandy Hook Elementary School where yesterday's shooting occurred. Recalled that it was Adam's first school.
that it was Adam Lanza attended a problem in 4th grade. When Adam was in middle school grades and had to change classrooms, he couldn't handle it. Nancy Lanza removed him from the public school and enrolled him in a small Catholic school for 1 year. Adam did not do well there either, and Nancy Lanza homeschooled him after that. Advised that Nancy Lanza told her that Adam had no emotions or feelings and that Adam didn't care about birthdays or holidays and thought they were stupid. Recalled that Nancy Lanza had to get rid of a cat because Adam was freaked out by it and couldn't handle it. Nancy Lanza told her that her son, Adam Lanza, had not left his bedroom in 3 months, and that despite the fact that Nancy and Adam lived in the same house, Nancy has only been able to communicate with Adam by email. Nancy Lanza told that Adam had been freaked out by Hurricane Sandy in late October 2012, told that she had asked Nancy if she was afraid of Adam, and that Nancy had said no, told that she had urged Nancy Lanza to take some action regarding Adam, told that Nancy talked about a plan to relocate with Adam because Adam wanted to go back to school, advised that Nancy was looking into moving to Washington State or North Carolina, that Nancy Lanza had discussed these moving plans with Adam told. Follow-up interview of on December
Advised that bought Nancy a lot of guns and wonders if any he bought for her were the ones that Adam Lanza used in his shooting rampage. Stated that she heard on the news that yesterday's victims at Sandy Hook Elementary School, including the school's behavioral therapist, special education teacher, psychologist, wonders if Adam knew those people and targeted them. Also wondered if the classroom that Adam shot children in was one of his former classrooms and if he went into the school with a plan. Stated that she heard a news report about Nancy Lanza having recently filed legal documents seeking a conservator conservatorship, I don't know, for Adam. Inquired as to whether this had been corroborated by law enforcement. This is all redacted. Was acting out of emotion. He was reacting to the shooting at the school, Sandy Hook Elementary School, spoke about the shooting in an immature fashion. He should not have reacted like he did. Is there context to this other than all the redactions? Does not own or have access to firearms. He only has an EMT knife. He has never been hunting or to a gun range, but he looks forward to doing both. Hmm. Nancy had 2 sons, and Adam Lanza stated that stated Nancy was very smart in school, and Nancy finished high school early. After graduating high school, Nancy attended the University of New Hampshire for approximately 3 years. At the time, Nancy's main focus of study was English, Spanish, and also possibly social services. Stated Nancy was very bright and only needed a few credits to graduate. Stated Nancy did not graduate from college as a result of Nancy's relationship and eventual marriage. After the wedding, Nancy lived in Haverhill, Massachusetts for a couple years. Nancy opened a laundry, the Front Street Laundry in Exeter, New Hampshire. Nancy was a hard worker and also worked as a hostess at the 1986 house restaurant to bring in additional money. Nancy moved from Haverhill, Massachusetts back to Kingston or Nancy or yeah, back to Kingston in New Hampshire. Eventually, she sold the laundry and started working at John Hancock in Boston, Massachusetts. During this time frame, Adam Blank and Adam were born. Believed Adam attended daycare while Nancy worked in Boston. Stated that Adam may have attended the DJ Bakey Elementary School, but Nancy moved to Connecticut during 1995 or 1996. Nancy moved to Connecticut. Believed Nancy specifically chose to move to Newtown because of the school system there. Nancy was private, but Nancy remained in contact and was very generous for various holidays and birthdays of family members.
So I recalled,
Believed Nancy's relationship with Adam was good. Recalled a phone conversation about 3 years ago with Nancy, asked Nancy about the kids, and Nancy replied, "Everything is fine." During the telephone conversation with Nancy, never spoke to Adam on the telephone. When would ask to speak to Adam, Nancy would indicate that Adam was busy or not home or just not available. Recalled even as a young child, Adam did not like to talk on the phone. Believed that Believed when Adam first moved to Connecticut, he was more of a social kid and would attend various playgroups and parties. Stated as Adam became older, he was more of a loner and an odd kid, particularly. Noticed during the last couple years of Adam's or years, Adam had become more of a loner. Nancy never confirmed any type of medical condition or diagnosis of Adam. Stated Adam loved music and Adam could also play the saxophone. Adam's demeanor as a teenager was good but rigid. Stated Adam took the board games very seriously and no one could joke around or ignore the rules of the board game when Adam was playing. Adam liked to use the computer.
and B. Recalled adamant and Adam would walk around the island picking up trash. Adam liked to spend time. Recalled another climbed up outdoors and was a big hiker who liked to climb when Adam was 9 years old, when he climbed up the Liberty Trail of Midi, Washington. Stated the climb was no problem for Adam, which was a very impressive feat for a 9-year-old. Instance with Adam was 13 or 14 years old when Adam and down Minty, Washington on the same day. Stated Adam had indicated he wanted to climb every mountain in New Hampshire. B -5, 6 was not aware of any sports Adam participated in at school. believed Adam had been in the computer club or the tech club at the believed Adam attended public high school in Newtown, Connecticut. Stated the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Nancy transferred Adam to St. Anne's School at some point during middle school. Stated Adam did not like noise or confusion, and Adam began to have issues in school once he was required to walk to different classes during the school day. Stated St. Anne's was a smaller school, and academically Adam did well at St. Anne's. In high school, stated Adam was home-schooled through the school. Stated Nancy would take Adam to the school for advanced courses, but Adam was not in the mainstream school setting. Stated Adam had issues moving through the school between classes, but Adam could sit through a quiet lecture without a problem. Nancy would take Adam back and forth to school a couple of times a day to accommodate Adam's schedule. BB 6 billion's B minus 6. BB 6 billion.
Explained that over the last couple years, Nancy had indicated Adam did not want to go to events with crowds of people. Nancy told people that Adam does not like crowds. Did not have any email contact with Adam. Nancy never spoke to about any medication Adam may have been taking. Nancy was more interested in collecting jewelry than collecting guns. Stated Nancy lived alone after the divorce, and Nancy primarily had a gun for protection. Stated as Nancy began dating again after the divorce, Nancy could engage in conversations with guys to talk about guns or target shooting to develop rapport during a date, but Nancy was not a gun enthusiast. Never heard Nancy mention a Glock handgun or a Sig Sauer handgun. Vaguely remembered Nancy approaching years ago, asking for a recommendation for a gun to purchase for protection. Recommended a Smith & Wesson 38 Snubby to Nancy as a good gun for protection. Also, during the discussion concerning guns, vaguely remembered Nancy mentioned something about an AR-15 rifle approximately 10 years ago. Could not recall any other details about this conversation with Nancy. Believe the last time they knew of Adam shooting a gun was approximately 6 to 8 years ago. Adam may have shot a .22 rifle.
Stated during the last couple of years, Adam had been going back, stated Nancy had, to school and was taking courses in the Chinese language. Adam was driving himself to the Chinese classes, encouraged Adam to get his driver's license, and Adam eventually obtained a driver's license, even though Adam really did want to have one. Recalled a conversation she had with Nancy regarding a potential move Nancy was considering from her residence in Connecticut. Nancy was considering moving primarily for Adam's benefit. Nancy was not unhappy living in Connecticut, but thought a move would be best for Adam. Also, Nancy indicated the house she was currently living in may have been a little too big. Nancy considered moving to Seattle, Washington, primarily because Adam would like the weather there and it was not too bright. Nancy also considered moving to North Carolina. B. 6 billion's mind. Adam was initially a vegetarian and stated Adam was very particular about what he would eat. Adam was initially a vegetarian and then became a vegan. Nancy would frequently cook for Adam, but Adam could also cook for himself. Nancy made sure to stock the house with groceries for Adam. BB minus 6. Stated during Hurricane Sandy, Nancy's house lost power, but Adam refused to go to a hotel. Adam did not want to leave the house and basically shut down. Soon after Hurricane Sandy, Nancy purchased a generator for the residence. BB minus 6. Also recalled that at some point Adam worked for a computer repair shop off and on for approximately 1 or 2 years. Stated Adam was very gifted with computers, and Adam could put together a computer BB minus of interviews and spare parts.
Interesting. Believed Nancy mentioned Adam. This is all redacted except for this. Adam may have been taking karate classes at the time. Believe the last time you saw Adam was 3 or 4 years ago. Or Adam was 3 or 4 years old. Holy hell. Stated
Stated he knew absolutely nothing about Adam for the past 8 years, and has only had generic conversation believed he may have heard from be autistic. That Adam stated through concerning Adam. Stated he knew absolutely through concerning Adam.
Stated that he knew absolutely nothing about Adam for the past 8 years and had only had generic conversations concerning Adam. Believed he may have heard from through that Adam may be autistic. Hello? Why are we getting the alphabet? That might have been it for this file or file set. Um, I'm still gonna make sure though, obviously. Um,
And received an incoming from telephone at around 9:18 a.m. on December 16th, 2012. Telephone call to their home telephone number 843-7000. The call was received on their answering machine, where an unidentified male caller left a message saying he was Adam Lanza and making threats that he was going to kill a bitch with his machine gun. The telephone is subscribed to in the name of the answering machine message was in the voice investigative note and permitted sal of their answering machine tape, which is attached.
we remember how many of those phone calls were made in the last episode, right? That was crazy. Hmm. Believes that feels for the victims of mass killers. He thinks mass killings are just something that continue to happen, as in Phoenix, the movie theater, pre-Columbine to current day. Hmm. Yeah, I think that was it. So we can go ahead and start with the final part. Um, Tons of subpoenas. Hmm. I think this is where I'm gonna pull up the Dashcam video and I will show that instead. While I find a good spot for us to pick up at. And that was the first Dashcam video from, I think it was the Connecticut state police website, where I got the rest of the documents. Despite how much FBI involvement there was, the only thing that the FBI provided, well, there's like 1,600 pages within, but was these long documents. Outside of that, the rest of it came from Connecticut. This is another interview. The person being interviewed believes that he met Adam Lanza in New Orleans in 2011 or 2010.
Newtown CT shooting, because he believes he met the alleged shooter, Adam Lanza, in New Orleans in 2011 or 2010 L, said that Lanza BB 6 B-1. December 17th, said that Lanza B told him that the most evil thing in the world would be to conduct a slaughter at an elementary school. In New Orleans, Jackson Square was approached in the square by two teenage white males who had a New England accent. The two told that they were associated with the asked what would be the Church of Satan. During the discussion, the two told that they were associated with the
They were associated with the Church of Satan. That's great.
Most evil act one could do. Most evil act one could do. Most evil act one could do. Most evil act one could do.
Holy hell. Yeah, most evil act one could do. One of the males believed to be Adam Lanza said the most evil act one could do is conduct a massacre at an elementary school. Does not have any further identifiers regarding the individual he spoke with who made the comment. Was uncertain whether the photos of Lanza that are being showed on the news are
Was uncertain whether the photos of Lanza that are being shown on the news are congruent with the individual he spoke with. He acknowledged the incident happened so long ago his memory of the physical description of the teenagers is vague. Is available for recontact, pre-assessment findings, read and reviewed by case agent.
There's just so much stuff redacted, it's so crazy.
Synopsis Internet Activity Report Number, the information contained here in website as possibly being related to terrorist or other criminal activity. The submitted text has been incorporated into this communication, BB-2, B137.
This is the same anonymous individual reported that blank date of birth blank told Adam Lanza to shoot up the school, but there's no other context other than the redacted stuff. So that's interesting.
On January 30th, 2013, a conference call was held at the Meriden Resident Agency between BAU2 and the Connecticut State Police concerning Lieutenant Sergeant Det and writer. The purpose of the call was unclassified. Foog, Sandy Hook minus 2,718. 4 NH.
These are just a bunch of import forms or
7. This information is the property of the FBI. Law enforcement officials with a need to know. Without FBI authorization is prohibited. Precautions should be taken to ensure this information is stored and/or destroyed in a manner that precludes unauthorized access. And met with on February 2013. Central District Major Crime Squad, Connecticut State Police. The purpose of the meeting was to transfer 6 items of evidence from CSP Evidence Control to the custody of FBNYH. One of the items that Det provided was described as follows, hashtag 602, seized December 19th, 2012, 1320. And on the same day, I opened the item of evidence to evaluate whether items contained within needed to be packaged separately and documented accordingly before submitting the item to New Haven's control. At 1345, the package was opened. The contents are more fully described as Toshiba model MK4025 gas, Toshiba. Serial number 74C50900, Samsung 3.5 floppy drive 2. 7. Netgear model GA 511 gigabit PC card. Intel Core 2 quad processor 602 was be repackaged into 2 separate packages as follows. Serial number 75 gas, 40 gigabytes HDD. Serial number 7012, 1320, 602 billions. Items 602A and 602A and 602 billions were submitted to New Haven Evidence Control. Unclassified, FD 301. Unclassified, FUE. Unclassified 4-202 of Agent Review of Evidence, February 27th, 2032. Unclassified. 7. This information is the property of the FBI. Law enforcement officials with a need to know. And on February 27th, 2013, special agents met with Detective, Central District Major Crime Squad, Connecticut State Police. The purpose of the meeting was to transfer 6 items of evidence from CSP Evidence Control to the custody of FBNYH. Det provided the following items of evidence. 601 seized. December 19th, 2012, 1315 1 box, containing an IBM ThinkPad. Serial number AAF 2T839911 with power cord. BB-1. 602 seized December 19th, 2012, 1,320 components. 10 miscellaneous computer. 12 miscellaneous CDR and 603 seized December 19th, 2012, 1335. DVD-R discs containing unknown content. Seized December 19th, 2012, 1842. Drawings authored by Adam Lanza, 7 journals, and miscellaneous. B hashtag 610, seized December 19th, 2012, 1320. B-5. Hashtag 634 discs, seized December 20th, 2012, 09581 plastic case, containing 29 candelas R. Items 601, 602, and 603 were located in the second floor southeast corner bedroom at 36 Yogananda St. Sandy Hook. CT. Item 634 was located in the second floor southwest corner bedroom at 36 Yogananda St. Sandy Hook. CT. Items 609 and 610 were located in a box. A copy of the referenced items is physically sealed with evidence tape. The packages visually appeared that they had not been opened and resealed. JA FD 597 receipt, the referenced items of evidence. Of the FD-597 is maintained in a 1A. The referenced items of evidence will be submitted to New Haven Evidence Control. Item type description. 1 billion cart. 1 box containing an IBM ThinkPad, serial number 8AF 2012 309 11s. With seat number 601. Other location area. Specific location, just the E25 cart 602A. Device type, 1 billion cart 602A. Toshiba, serial number 7474 C50000.
I'm so sorry that it reads it so weird, but this is just the seized evidence, I guess.
On February 27, 2013, special agents and conducted a review of a AT&T digital answering system that was obtained from the first floor office at 36 Yogananda St. Sandy Hook, Connecticut. The item of evidence was seized by the Connecticut State Police on December 15, 2012 at 3:42 a.m. The item of evidence was packaged in brown paper, bearing the following labels: percent 2,341%, B placard hashtag 2,293 billions, 2705354. The AT&T digital answering system contained the follower ID data. This document contains neither recommendations nor conclusions of the FBI. It is the property of the FBI and is loaned to your agency.
Dentist, lunch with Nancy, no number. This is Connecticut State Police. Saw headlines checking in, no number. Ask for a call back. CBS News. Asking for a call back. I'm really sorry for what you're going through, no number. Asking for a call back, no number. Asking for call back. Huffington Post. Unknown caller, your son's a pussy. Oh, false flag attack, mind control. Ask for callback. Ask for callback. Hello, Star Ledger, asking for a callback. New York newspaper reporter on Long Island, New York. Bad parenting, no number. Text a landline message delivery. Asking for a callback, no number. Is this the motherfucker that killed those kids? Wow. Good Morning America, ABC News, ask for a call back. Jesus, a lot of news outlets were calling, trying to get a call back, I guess. Victims as well, calling from no number. Interesting. Terribly sorry for everything you're going through. Your son deserves to be dead. Yikes.
During the meeting, the following 2 items of evidence were obtained from CSP Evidence Control and subsequently submitted to NH Evidence Control. On March 1st, 2013, special agents photographed the physical items. Unclassified tug, unclassified.
This is about the journals. So 7 journals in miscellaneous drawings authored by Adam Lanza, CSP seized. I still can't believe it's been 14 years and there's not a single journal that's been fully released.
On March 5th, 2013, special agent or investigation. Interviewed Federal Bureau or born of the Newtown B. Provided the cellular Newtown. Provided the cellular Newtown after being advised. Over the past few weeks, the Newtown B newspaper has been receiving emails from a person who identifies himself as is using email account emails to Newtown B, their content and style. Is addressing the emails are disturbing and in general. They make reference to the shooting at the Sandy Hook Elementary School and use aggressive and vulgar language to blame the Newtown residents and victims' parents for the shooting. Provided SAA with copies of 9 emails received at the B between 02.
Hmm. The subject is so lads. It's February 2013. Guess we'll come there. Thought we might save some time. Oops, too late. We've been there since the poor boy Adam Lanza started killing your 20 dead children and those 4 arrogant women teachers who had the fight with Adam the day before at Sandy Hook Elementary School. What exactly happened there? In truth, haven't really followed your Connecticut thing that closely. Why? Simple, we already know exactly what happened. Why? The whole shebang. Yep. First, we ain't media maggots like CNN, MSNBC, whatever they are all maggots who feed on death, pain, human suffering, scum of the earth. Here's a fact for you. These media rats are enablers of Adam Lanza's. You give a psycho public media attention, you get more psychos, copycats, whatever. Hello, Colorado. Yeah. Columbine was what, 12 years back? Like you didn't know school shootings happen. Right. Bullshit. Your sins are pure arrogance, pride, period. You thought that can't happen in Newtown, Connecticut. Wrong. Dead 20 innocents. Wrong. That sheer civilians, AOI, equal arrogance of ignorance, cost your children their lives, which sucks forever. Now you get to live for the rest of your lives with your arrogant fuck ups. Wait till you see what this does to your town. You just at the warm up stage, approaching stage number 1. So the boy Adam was really pissed off at these 4 women teachers. The trigger events, clear as day. The day, December 14th, 2012, right? Adam Lanza came loaded for bear, what, 1 Glock and 1 SIG, both 9mm, maybe the Bushmaster rifle thrown in for lies propaganda. Saw part OD the Connecticut State Police lies that we don't know why he did it, blah bullshit. We do, precisely. You may not. Anybody. Police kisses no B1 eyes. Propaganda puke so completely cannot be trusted. The moral rot runs deep in Connecticut. No surprises there. Old news. So this Adam comes a killing 4 bitches pissed him off big time. Somehow, some exactly how how exactly what did they do or say to the boy to trigger him? More critical is why. Is bitch number 1 teacher who stayed home from school day after Adam fight saved her own ass, still alive, but 20 dead children. Coincidence? Get real. You may be stupid, we ain't. What did she know? Why didn't she tell the police? Old Adam was really, really pissed off. What did she do to the boy? You can tell her. She is she's in the hot seat, on fire, in fact, and anybody who lies with her, bingo, shit's gonna get ugly, real ugly. Watch, see if it happens to be your daughter. God help you. We'll pray for all of you. Your delusional group mindset grief blah thinks it will blow over. Lies will cover the pure evils involved. Nah, not a chance, but enjoy the fantasy whilst you can. God bless. This is insane. Well, now where were we? Uh,
Total moral failure of Newtown, Connecticut to protect their children because pure arrogance, sinful pride, done deal. So was it you did nothing after Columbine arrogance? We don't have those problems, Huff, here. Sure you do, reality bozos, but action requires your town. You probably bozo L real men still do. Nothing, probably none exist in. Or was it, we don't like guns. Who cares? What weak, spineless cowards like your 20 dead children? Paid for your cowardice, your failures, fact, your total, absolute moral failures. To face reality of school shootings is your total failures. As men pathetic, sick, that you could have, sick, that you could have prepared is disgusting to a you real men.
That you could have stopped this had you trained prepared is disgusting to all real men. Fact. Tell yourselves all the bullshit lies you want. This is your reality now, forever. So get it straight fast. Then think how many more Adam Lanzas you got in Newtown, Connecticut. No, now before you start whining, don't weakness. Any man who does not protect his children is no man at all. Fact. Past the word reality is in town, truth is there out. I seriously, like, I truly wonder who is writing these emails. And I'm pretty sure it said that the email was coming from somebody in the UK, which makes sense on why they said that this type of thing doesn't happen here because they don't have guns. Well, they do, but they're not legalized. This is another one of the 9 crazy emails they sent. Where do these cuckoos, truthers, whatever come from? I mean, come on, granted, you'll all fucked up royally, and well, we know you're lying through your teeth on some shit, but these bozos, whoever's on site, will take care of business beyond me. Lads, Connecticut, Newtown, how's it feel to be a milestone event? Wouldn't want that. Monkeyar for my hometown. So, witchcraft, Satanism, you flying around on brooms or what? Who you lads are, really are. I ain't got a clue. Irrelevant, your town 20 dead innocents will serve in ways beyond your very wildest imaginations, paginations, whatever. Let's put Newtown, Connecticut, December 14, 2012 into proper perspective. Feel free to chime in, correct any false flags, I mean false facts, joke, castigate. You choose really one thing would be so refreshing. Some true intellect, the usual media drivel is petitious. I recall and know some folks who can write better yet they can think. When the Ivies started that, bring the idiots, rubber stamp them through, dink howdy do. Wow, how thy dear crimson but doth bleed. Well, you know, no, you are a fucking idiot. No standards exist anymore. Here's a funny, some of those kooky bastards are Secret Service boys. We're worried about, no, not the whore chasers who didn't tip properly in Colombia. Poor boy Nobby One Eye. How'd you like to be a cyclops, blind in one eye, and you know your detail just gave you some third world horrors, your whole itinerary for a blowjobs. Yazoo. So, Secret Service, no standards, proof. Look around you bozos. You let the boy Adam Lanza blow the brains out of your children in school. Yeah. Parents, no standards. Fathers, no balls. Mothers, no minds. Worse, your no mother instincts to protect her children. Whoa,
The Human Genome Project. What? Yeah, told you. You were clueless. Genetics, research, you don't really think we ain't gonna genome to eradicate anomaly. Use human. Get real, we tell. Brilliant bozos. Naive scientists. Nice stories. WWE got, what, 7.3 billion mutts. On this planet, WWE got to accelerate. The NASA program. Get this. Cheap ship the dirtbags. Spics illegals, whatever. Retards in space. New Special Olympics. Kennedys will endorse. Anything. Just don't fly Nava, Plano, with a Kennedy, seem to recall. Some very irritating ships, very boring. Search for Dingbatsplat's piece of, yeah, just like your Sandy Hook Elementary School hallways. You ever try to run in full tack gear through? Slippery blood flowing freely? Halls? You keep your weak ass blubbering about anti-violence, anti-gun initiatives. Rah, rah, blah. Silly boys bullshit. Here's a real light bulb moment for you. Shut the fuck up. Grieve. Indignity silence. Give me a call. I'll train your school staff if you have any worthy, real men. Next. Adam Lanza. One coffin, maybe. You do. Right. Asshole never gets the chance, but people fuck up. So you kill one asshole, you go home. You show dead asshole on CNN, put his smile in what's left of his face on the Blazing Sunday edition of the Newtown Bee. CNN, MSNBC media for moral purposes. Once use the, which I think Columbia School of Journalism. No moral human beings allowed right across the top of college's application. Yep. Media scumbags only, you know. Liars, cowards, creeps, queers. Wait, that's just your Newtown neighbors, right? The nice people. Yeah, very funny. So really, Newtown, Connecticut, the home of absolute moral failures, train you, put you in schools, dead dawn principle, would be alive. Had I done so already, those dead innocents, alive. Adam Lanza, dead. You see, laddie, this takes real men with balls who face reality. The truth, no whiners. Tell those weak, whiny bitches' parents who let Adam Lanza shoot to death by horrific gunfire their children to shut the fuck up, hang their heads in shame. It's all self-serving narcissism, same disgusting, inordinate love of self. They got their kids' brains blown out in terror. What? You silly bitches dare tell me, or anyone you didn't know, about Columbine, Virginia Tech, Oregon Mall shootings, Amish schoolhouse, that little red-headed bastard likes killing Batman, movie freaks or something. Aurora, Colorado 7th, your lies are disgusting, your moral filth stinks to high heaven, grow the fuck up. Too late, yeah, we know, job, real men protect their children like real good men. A CT. Bitches, wine, children, die you. Disgusting. Out, BB from.
Yeah, hey there. Still on utter joke, meat boy. We know you're busy, said narcissist as he lovingly gazed. Yo.
Any town people, like clowns, have the Newtown gall, to keep whining your lies on TVVLL. See are irreverent. Poke in your arrogant, I lie elsewhere, see, you clearly see, we clown, you can read together and pee. This disgusting puke. Narcissism. Pour us, please, STO epidemic. Oh, we are. Lazy moral sloth. About Columbine, but ourself. Hugs. Now, toads delightful who knew love of one allet. Rip on asses, the stench of smug. As a bug. In those South Park. Boys year, Val, boys year. They know you trouble, so shut it. You parents, absolute moral failures. Who did not protect your children. You were busy, BB -7. Yeah, we know. Narcissistic assholes. They're sick egos. Are always busy serving some enlightenment silly perversions. Like, say, beers for queers or it. Pagans for Satan. New narcissists for mirrors. Yeah, on TV some more. What is, that's it, get not so very funny. You sick motherfuckers will never hang your heads in shame for your absolute moral fuck-ups. That narcissism is sickening out.
Goodness. Hey there, clown of Newtown humor boy. Get used to it.
Avery, very long road, the sloth toad ahead, and thought you immoral. Might Avery, very long road, the sloth toad ahead, and thought you want to know this. Narcissism, advanced modern psychiatry, tells us a part clearly is ripping America, B7, -27. Sure you did the Ivy Leagues too. I'd better stop there. Trouble could get you in. Told you.
Better stop there, could get you in trouble. Told ya this remains private, period. So your fears are just as plain, or just plain silly. But we know the weak, the spineless down south. I recall this beautiful southern belly. What a woman. When she got hot, I was just a yellow bellied Yankee, and no, I have no idea what this guy is talking about. And he sent like numerous of these emails to some news outlet and they forwarded them to the FBI. I guess.
Synopsis. To document expenditures of the terrorism emergency victim assistance funds following the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, CT. Details. On December 14th, 2012, a gunman killed 27 people, including his mother, Nancy Lanza, and 26 students and staff at Sandy Hook Elementary School. The Office for Victim Assistance activated the Victim Assistance Rapid Deployment Team to respond to the shooting following a request for assistance from the Newtown Police Department and the Connecticut State Police. The Office for Victims of Crime authorized the use of terrorism emergency victim assistance funds to assist the victims of this mass fatality event.
This is subpoenas again. Contacted writer regarding a harassing communication on his Facebook account on Monday, January 21st, 2013. While reviewing friend requests on his account, he came across a request from a person identified as Adam Lanza. Stated that when he clicked on the request, he was able to view Adam Lanza's homepage. On the page were statements to the effect of that Sandy Hook school shooting was a hoax and it was all committed by the president. Provided copies of the screenshots to writer. Dun dun dun. This complaint is being drafted as an addition to a complaint drafted by Ryder on Friday, January 18th, 2013. And that incident, someone made threats on a website. The theme of the harassment and threats continues to be that the Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax perpetrated by the U.S. government. Dun dun dun. This matter is being addressed by essay. I wonder what the outcome of that was. Date of birth, address, dun dun dun, called in to report that she communicated with Adam Lanza on the suicideforum.com site. Suicide Forum is a website to support people that are thinking about committing suicide. Lanza told that he was going to kill himself and it would be on the news. Also thinks a boy named PH was friends with Lanza on suicide forums, has posted a video on YouTube under the name thinks might have helped Lanza prepare for the shooting. Special Agent Federal Bureau of Investigation New Haven confirmed that she had been interviewed by Connecticut State Police and all the information has been relayed to them. No, she has no further information at this time. Interesting.
Complainant. Show of Hands is a polling application for mobile devices, that is, iPhones, iPads, Androids, etc. The users can create anonymous accounts that do not require names, emails, address, but do require a zip code to be provided. Show of Hands has been available for a couple of years and allows users to answer random polling questions. BB6. On December 11th, 2012, the Clackamas Town Center Mall shooting occurred. That night posted a question asking, has there ever been a mass? BB-6. RE. A couple of days later, he was contacted by another user. On December 31st, 2012, a user going by the moniker of posted a comment to the polling questions which said, there's about to be. Upon being aware of the looked up the comment, and it said the comment came looked up account, and found a CT zip code that resolved to a neighboring town of Newtown approximately 10 post from Connecticut miles away. On December 13th, posted a new polling question asking about the Mayan calendar prediction for December 21st, 2012. Posted again on December 13th, 2012, leaving a comment to the effect of, Satan is coming that day. The GPS information collected by Show of Hands shows the user resolves to an address in Fayetteville, Georgia, has been in contact with the web company that supports Show of Hands to determine if account has been recently modified or changed. He has the capability to search the archive and identify all posts by profile was created. And when the contacted the Newtown Police Department on December 14th, 2012 and was routed to a detective. Doesn't know if the information was shared or passed and wanted to make sure it was provided in case it had any value. Pre-assessment findings 2, B6. This matter has been fully explored by FBI New Haven Squad 10. Recommended action, file to existing case, unclassified. B minus Agency contacted information. Disseminated on January 29, 2000 details, letter confirming ongoing routine and thanking the Hoboken Police Department for their assistance in the Newtown shooting investigation, but a separate
I think I'm going to pull up another video, and this time it will be a vehicle processing video. I believe it's Adam Lanza's car, but I'm not entirely sure. Because it looks like there's two separate vehicle processing videos, and it's for two separate vehicles. So I'm going to show you part one and then part two. Here it is. Those were the 2 vehicle processing videos that are available on the Connecticut website. I did get to a decent part of the FBI vault files again, but I do think a lot of these are going to be like the last part of these are going to be a lot of duplicates or just repeat information because I scrolled through about 100 pages and a lot of them were duplicates. But this is Monroe Police Department and it's an incident or case report.
On February 11th, 2014, at approximately 12:40 hours, I was assigned to the Sandy Hook Elementary School, 375 Fan Hill Road, Monroe. CT. I was contacted by Sandy Hook Elementary School regarding a harassing telephone caller who was currently on hold. I answered the phone and asked how I could help the caller. The caller, a male voice approximate age in the 20s, stated he was looking for his son, Adam Lanza. I asked the caller what his name was. He replied, Mr. Lanza looking to pick up his son, Adam Lanza. I then identified myself as officer of the Monroe Police Department and asked why he was calling. The caller stated he was calling for Newtown schools, not Monroe. I told the caller to stop calling and harassing the staff of the school. The caller stated he was calling from an unknown number, so there's no way to be tracked. I told the caller to stop calling, or he would see how he could be tracked or not. The caller hung up. BB 3. The caller moments later, the caller immediately called back and stated in a fake weeping voice, I just got the news, my son is dead, how awful. The caller hung up again. Moments later, the caller called again and stated BB 7. I then stated, if it will get you to stop calling, why don't you just say all 26 names of the victims of Sandy Hook tragedy? The caller replied in a rapid voice with more names I couldn't make out, and then laughed and ended with, ha ha. He then hung up. 7. The calls came in from an unknown number on the caller identification feature. The caller ID listed the first of 4 calls received on February 11th, 2014, at 12:40 hours. I advised to direct all future calls from this caller to the school's voicemail. This case is referred to the detective or follow-up investigation to ascertain the phone number of the caller B7B-37. From throughout the day on March 19th, 2014, I received further information regarding phone calls threats. I learned that on February 11th, 2029 hours. I learned that on February 11th, 2014, at 1,229 hours. I received a phone call threat to burn down the school. A major police response ensued due to the previous shooting at the recorded, and it was tracked by Monroe C. previous report. I spoke with Sergeant the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, who indicated that he was certain that school officials would want charges sought against for their incident. I was able to obtain a report, and he will forward specific victim information to me on March 20th, 2014. B-23. After learning above, I advised detective to draft a search warrant for tools used in these crimes at the suspect's home address. Appeared to PD voluntarily at our scheduled interview time, although 17 wanted his mother present during the interview. I advised that he was free to leave at any time and not under arrest. He can decide to answer or not answer my questions. At any time, agree to speak with me freely and voluntarily, witnessed by his mother. B-2, 3 billions minus 2. When I started out speaking to about the suicidal threat call in which PD officers responded to his home after he called an alarm company threatening suicide. Stated that he and a friend, only identified as 18 years, decided they would make prank calls consistent with recorded calls they like viewing by a YouTube personality known as Ownage Pranks. He said at that time and on today's date that he was not suicidal, just making a phone prank. No other party was with, officers responded to the home. I further asked if he made any other similar prank phone calls in the last month's time. He stated that he has not. I then began going one by one through the recorded call logs forwarded to me by Monroe CTPD detective. One by one admitted responsibly to the call, only agreeing to the information once I presented proof of the call. After going through all of the calls made on February 11th, 2014, I asked why would he do such things. Again, he cited the phone prank YouTube Ownage Pranks, and he said at the time he thought it was funny. He realizes now that he was wrong. Throughout my interview, calm, stoic, and spoke very thoughtfully and intelligently. He claimed to be quite intelligent, and he appeared to be so. Was. I asked to explain the call to Arapahoe High School, where he threatened to burn down the fucking school. Again said that it was only a prank and he meant no actual harm. I asked how did his research of those shootings, and he said he used his laptop and did simple Google searches, agreed to write a written statement, and it will be added to the case file. B-2. 3, 5 billions minus 235. Finished his statement, I spoke within the hall. I advised that after learning the new information about a direct threat to a school which caused a significant police response and confession to same, I felt it necessary to arrest him for using a telecommunication device to commit an act of terrorism. Was upset, but understood. I also advised her that we would be conducting a search warrant at her home to retrieve computer and phone. Had phone on her person, and I took it as evidence. Was then handcuffed. Advised he was being arrested for using a phone to commit an act of terrorism and booked in PD detention. Had no personal items on him at time of arrest. Detective completed a search warrant for the address, and we executed same at 1,700 hours EST. And the previously reported LG cell phones and the previously reported LG cell phone taken from the detective supplement for details. I will be presenting a warrant to the county prosecutor 23-2, March 19th of the Monroe CT Police Department. He stated he was investigating a series of disturbing and harassing phone calls. He stated that Sandy Hook Elementary School had been moved to his jurisdiction after the school shootings that occurred there. Detective Jency continues to investigate any and all related cases coming into or stemming from the school. He stated that on February 11th, 2014, received several blocked phone calls from a younger male who repeatedly references the shootings, claims to be a family member of the shooter, and then names all of the deceased children from the school. These calls happened multiple times. Detective stated that he obtained an ex parte order and served same to the phone carrier for the incoming calls. He received a credit card number that was used to purchase minutes on the pay-as-you-go phone. He again served a subpoena on the credit card bank and located at the address, and detective then contacted me and asked for assistance in this matter. He also stated that in the course of his investigation, he determined that similar phone calls were made to Columbine, Virginia Tech, and Arapahoe schools, all scenes of school shootings. I will follow up with those jurisdictions as well. In checking our in-house computer system, I located a 17-year-old at the same address, had a recent contact with SHPD, where he called AL PDL PD officers, met with, and at that time stated that he was playing a phone prank and was not suicidal. The officers determined that no further action was necessary at the time. County Alarm Company, and threatened suicide B-2B237. At 1014, I attempted contact at the address. I left messages on the phones as at the location. At the scene, I spoke with a person in the neighborhood who wished to remain anonymous. They stated that was a decent young man until fairly recently. B, 2 billions minus 2. And in the early morning hours of March 19th, 2014, and agreed to bring Jin for an interview, and agreed to bring Jin for investigation. Date of entry March 2014. Special agent previously included links to YouTube and Facebook where there were references to the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, as well as religious material. For the most part, and linked material appears to be the product of unstable or delusional thinking. Much of it makes cryptic reference to the Bible and the Book of Revelations. Some of the comments could possibly be read as vaguely threatening. In addition to the emails, reported that the person sending the emails left an egg-shaped paper Easter bag at the newspaper office. The bag contained BB-7. 1. A blue and white stuffed bunny with 2 business cards for, with handwriting sell, business cards 2, 30 additional of the same. A tourist pamphlet advertising the Submarine Force Museum and USS Nautilus submarine in Groton, Connecticut, a silver SanDisk cruiser fast at 8 gigabytes jump drive, and a greeting card referencing the families and the jump drive and signed by. Investigation on March 2014 at Newtown, Connecticut, United States, by BB-1. Date drafted March 25th, 2014. March 20th, 2047. Number with of Lieutenant Investigations PD. Telephone was very familiar, indicatedly contacting, harassing various members of the media. As a result, actions, including leaving a package at the home of a member of, was warned it complied with the local media. PD officers have interviewed 1 point to stop contacting 1 member of the media. The police request, Lieutenant described, to cease history of violence or of causing any injury or damage as far as the eye is aware. Lieutenant offered to send officers to warn contacting the Newtown B. PDB 123 billions 123. After speaking with Lieutenant Fiden, appears to be residing in New York. SA also advised that the local police and community were aware of him and that he has contacted other members of the media and has been approached by police in the past. SA provided with a current photograph of and informed that he was about 6 feet 2 inches tall and 270 pounds. Asked that Hot be contacted by police. On March 21st, 2014, SA took possession of the Easter bag and its contents, which will be submitted to New Haven Evidence Control Unit. From, sent to, subject, attachments, Friday, March 14th, 2014 emails from FW, Newtown Sound and Harmony with Light, headline suggestion for a suggested story, FW my guess. Headline suggestion for a suggested story, new AP contact, RE, Newtown B, FW, Newtown B, perhaps this should be directed to the Newtown Police, rather than you. But the Newtown B has received a number of B-1, 2 cryptic and insistent emails in recent days from someone identified as Nomely. I discount this kind of B-1, 2 stuff. But this guy seems to be unusually persistent, and notably, in close proximity. He placed a bag with an Easter bunny, oddly unrelated business cards, and a brochure, a greeting card with more cryptic observations inside, and a thumb drive. I'm leery of checking the contents of the thumb drive for obvious IT reasons, so I don't know what's on it. The contents of the bag he dropped off appear in a photo attached to a couple of the email messages here. If you think this is a local police matter, let me know, and I will forward this material to them. Thank you for your help. BB-7. FW Newtown Sound. Let me preface by explaining the plot of the music video, so that you can really enjoy it. There is a supernatural magnetic event at a school, and the boy is coming to afterward. A frightened adult sees the boy walk by, blames him without an ounce of thought, and sends the USA law after him. Truth overpowers in the end. How beautiful is that for sound in harmony with light? Another perfect one to start with. On Thursday, 4:33 p.m. welcome Newtown B as another AP
I have no idea what these emails are even about, but
27 from. It is possible some never seen before things could start showing up in that magnetic box. Wrote on Thursday, March 13th, 2014, 7.
good ratings for Monday, I bet. I am looking for any consulting work for an income, just to let you know. Amazing, always in awe here. So if you look at no flow SW to NE, then go back to SE and recognize the flow. Yeah, I'm not sure what these are about, but very interesting. Oh, this is a headline suggestion for a story. Hmm.
Let it be known that I will never be on TV, where I could catch that head size disorder instantly. Never. Not going to happen. I will answer questions by email. B on Wednesday, March 19th, 2014, 5:12 a.m. wrote, I bet the square is related to the large square of zeros and ones on the last page of the original 1998 document delivered the Daytona Beach News Journal. I just know it. Someone look into that, please. BB-2. On Wednesday, March 19th, 2014, 12:52 a.m. I added Mecca as the current city on the wrote page, and after doing so, the box appeared on the map as shown in the 3 attachments. The box seems to be superimposing another type of map with different fonts, etc. Another message from Allah. BB-2. B-2, B-2. The farthest out and the farthest in do not have the square, it goes away. All 4 pages have the same square and path. It's zooming right in on the 1998 document story place. On Wednesday, March 19th, 2014, 1:59 a.m., Facebook URL, seen in top bar of the Red Horse Jumper will be released at West Point. I knew that on the drive to Newtown, but the Red Horse Jumper is still under construction. On Saturday, March 15th, 2042 a.m., the White Horse Jumper took off in Newtown. The Black Horse Jumper is now reserved for Israel. Attached is a screenshot of the files. Each jumper has all the same evidence keys, but it now looks like each is going to be slightly different. If you look close, you might notice I added the seal to the magnetic folder, and the White Horse wasn't carrying those flags seen in the Promised Land folder.
I'm sorry, what? The White Horse Jumper took off in Newtown. The Black Horse Jumper is now reserved for Israel. Hmm. This is about the basket that was left.
On February 20th, 2014, the writer was contacted by the Newtown, Connecticut Police
Yeah.
Department regarding a complaint it
What
received
the
from,
fuck?
was complaining about his image being utilized on a YouTube posting, as well as a Facebook page, posted by an individual who claimed the Sandy Hook shooting was a conspiracy. Attempts to have the postings taken down were initially successful. The links were reposted. However, BB-7. The writer has reviewed the postings in question, as well as the police. Unclassified, report and assess there was no threat of violence. Following conversations with New Haven Division CDC, it was decided that the matter in question was civil in nature at this point. SSA provided this initial assessment to the assigned Newtown officer, noting that state of Connecticut harassment statutes may apply. In the event the matter escalated, the writer was willing to reassess the initial finding. 2.
Interesting. So they low-key bullied the writer into changing what they said. Right! Yes, I agree. That's literally what I was thinking. What the hell? I heard Israel and I had to do a double take. This is about the hard drive.
Meeting with members of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. CSP requested BAU assistance in this matter related to crime analysis, offenders' motivation, and threat assessment. BAU2 is planning on releasing a report of their findings later this summer and decided it was appropriate to brief the families prior to the release of their report. BAU2 agreed to meeting with the victims' families. The report will be law enforcement sensitive and released only to the CSP. SAC Patricia M. Farrick, FBI New Haven Division, approved of the meeting. ASAC New Haven Division is hosting the BAU2 FBI new event with the assistance of SA Haven and CSP have coordinated the event and have consulted with both BAU's contract psychiatrist and the FBI's Office of Victims Assistance. It was determined that the best location for the meeting is a neutral and therapeutic setting. The Heritage Hotel and Conference Center, 522 Heritage Road in Southbury. CT was identified as a location that was suitable and close to Newtown, CT where the families reside. The debriefing is planned for July 29, 2014, from 6 p.m. 9 p.m. During the debriefing, light refreshments and non-alcoholic beverages will be served. It is anticipated that 50 persons will attend, including FBI, CSP, and OVA. Attending and participating in the event from the FBI include BAU2 Unit Chief, Supervisory Special Agent, SERG BAU2 Crime Analyst, or OVA MSW, FBI New Haven Assistant Special in Charge, Unclassified FUG. FUG. Title. Representation Funds for Meeting. Instant Date attended the invitation. As of Instant Date attended the invitation to the families and is tracking their replies. The exact attendee list for the families and the CSP has not been completed. It is a total of 50 to include CSP, FBI, and families. The Heritage Hotel noted that changes in the numbers of attendees can be made up to 5 days in advance. Rental for the room is being funded by a separate account. An estimate for the light refreshments to include a mini dessert display and assorted non-alcoholic beverages for 50 people is approximately $500, which includes tax and gratuity. Ryder is in the process of obtaining a written estimate for the refreshments from the hotel. It will be provided upon receipt. BB unclassified. From New Haven Contact. This communication served to update an EC dated July 21, 2014, regarding a request for representation funds concerning a meeting with the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. At this time, it is estimated that 50 people will attend to include victim family members, FBI personnel, and members of the unclassified Sandy 4 Connecticut State Police. The meeting concerns a DE briefing by the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit in advance of the release of a report on their findings and investigation of the Shees incident. The estimated bill for the rental of the room is $250. The room is being paid for through a separate funding source. The estimated bill for the refreshments, which will be paid for with representation funds, is $376.48. Copies of the invoices are attached hereto. Details concerning the meeting were set forth in referenced EC. Unclassified. FUG. Sandy Hook minus 3,356. Heritage Hotel. Invoice date. Two. Summary of BAU analysis. A. The shooter had a complex background featuring many problematic biopsychosocial issues. Historical, clinical, and contextual factors contributed to the shooter's extremely rigid and inflexible worldview. B. The shooter did not snap, but instead engaged in careful, methodical planning and preparation. There's evidence that the shooter began contemplating the attack as early as March of 2011. C. In the weeks and months immediately preceding the attack, the shooter's deteriorating relationship with his mother was a significant challenge and stressor in his life. D. The shooter was fascinated with past shootings and researched them thoroughly. E. The shooter shared many similar characteristics and behaviors with other active shooters. F. There is no evidence to suggest that the shooter viewed the attack as a video game or as a contest. G. There is evidence to suggest that the shooter had an interest in children that could be categorized as pedophilia. There is no evidence that he ever acted out on this interest. 3. Questions discussion. 4. Conclusion and adjourning. Unclassified. Federal Bureau.
Interesting.
T. By the Connecticut State Police for review concerning investigation into the Sandy Hook Elementary School, BB-6. The CDs were recovered from the residence of Adam Lanza. The CDs are being provided to BAU2 for review and inclusion in the BAU2's final report concerning Lanza. Noted that one CD, Disc 1 contains pornographic images. Discs 2 and 3 contain Japanese videos and images. B. Unclassified. FUG. Unclassified.
That might be it, guys. I'm not sure. This is the last couple pages, and it looks like a lot of it is subpoenas, evidence, chain of custody, just document stuff. Nothing super exciting. We can go through I think the last 3 videos of the school interior. They're very much redacted, and there's not a whole lot in them, but we could skip through them for a minute if you guys would like. If not, I did link both the websites that we've gotten absolutely all of our files and videos and recordings and stuff like that from in the description. So if you guys would like to look at them yourselves, you can. But this is looking like the end of part 3 for the FBI vault documents. Yep. And that finishes this off. Wow. Over the course of this series, we've gone through, thousands of pages of records, audio reports, photographs, different federal files, timelines, the calls, the evidence logs, just all of it. We've went through so much different stuff with this series, and these cases are just so much more complicated than the headlines put out. Even years later, there are layers to these large ass investigations. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. Same with you, Diana. You both are amazing. We have all the documents for, let me look, James Holmes. He's the Aurora shooter from the movie theater. We have everything on him, and we were thinking about digging into him next. But it is up to you guys. If you guys have any cases that you would like us to look into or get the documents for, always just let us know. And we'll happily look into them and cover them for you. But I appreciate all of you that have sat through these streams and hung out with us and, just had to listen through all the very lengthy documents that are just so heavily redacted. It made it very hard to go through. There's just so much redactions. It really isn't transparent at all. But I enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and I am excited to start digging into a new case. I feel like Sandy Hook took a really long time to cover, and that's just because, again, there's so much to it. There's so many inconsistencies, corrections, fragmented timelines, bureaucratic overlaps, redactions, mixing context, and thousands of moving pieces spread across multiple agencies and years of documentation. But if you enjoyed tonight's stream, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the stream, because these longer form deep dives get buried by the algorithm faster than a classified memo in a shredder factory. And remember, silence is complicity, truth is action. Good night, everybody. Stay safe.